Hello YouTubers, Dublin the Dam. I'm going to do you a video on something I have not covered so far in depth, ironically enough, and that is tobaccos, the kind of pipe tobaccos I like and what they are and why I like them. Now I tend to smoke a lot of Virginias, Virginia Flakes, and Vapors, which is Virginia Periques, and I also tend to smoke a lot of Navy Flakes and Navy Blends, which are really Virginia, sometimes with a bit of burley added, sometimes a bit of Perique, but usually Virginia with rum added and a sweet and spicy flavour of some sort also added. But essentially it's a Virginia with some rum casing. Okay, that is really a Navy blend, but they all have slightly different flavours. So that's my mainstay. Then I will also reach for an aromatic, and I will also reach for an English Latakia every now and then. And the other thing I do like on occasionally is a Lakeland. Now a Lakeland is something like this. This is not a typical Lakeland. It's very popular in Ireland and the UK. It's Mellow Virginia. It's a cheap packet tobacco you get in a lot of shops. And it has a slightly perfumey, soapy, lavenderish taste. Now that's called a Lakeland floral flavour. It's also, like Latakia, a very English style of blending. And I love that. And often when I want a Latakia, I think I want a Latakia, but I don't want a Latakia, then I will reach for a Lakeland floral tobacco. So that's one of my other types that I like a lot. Now I'm going to show you a few blends that I think are really, really solid blends. I think you can't go wrong with these. You might not like them, but I don't think you can dislike them. So everything I'm going to show you now, I think that as a pipe smoker here in Europe, you will not go wrong buying this. Now we'll start off with a good old favourite, and that is Robert McConnell's Scottish Cake. Robert McConnell's Scottish Cake. Okay. Robert McConnell's makes some very good blends. Scottish Cake is a vapor. It is Virginia and Perique. Now Perique tends to taste a little bit salty, a little bit peppery, a little bit vinegarish. It also is quite strong. It's traditionally a tobacco that is grown and in Louisiana in America. Traditionally pure, good Perique only comes from Louisiana in Southern America. Now, when you're smoking Scottish Cake, it has the kind of hay-ish or straw-ish, very hay, grassy-like flavours that you often get from Virginia, that you usually get from Virginia. Very barn-like a farm barn, summer sort of hay. That's very much the best we can describe it. Also with some figs and raisins, a very typical taste of a good Virginia tobacco, figs and raisins. And then the Perique also adds this kind of sweet sourness to it, slightly spicy sweet sourness to it. It is top stuff. You can't go wrong with it. I love it. It's absolutely delicious. Now, that is made by Kohlhaas and Koopman or Knopman, K&K in Germany, and they also blend this, Rattray. So both Rattray and Robert McConnell's are Scottish blends, but they're now made in Germany actually by the same company. This is Rattray's Old Gowrie. Now again, as far as I'm aware, if I can remember, this is pretty much a straight Virginia, and it has that hay, gracious, strawy taste that I love. It has a sweetness. Virginia also has a sort of citrusy, orangey, lemony flavour to it. Old Gowrie, very good. Now they also do Hal of the Wind, which is very popular and I believe is a little milder. Very, 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 very good stuff. Okay, I'm going to show you something else. This is something I discovered recently, and that's Robert McConnell's Red Virginia. And that is a Virginia Perique. It's actually Virginia with a tiny bit of Perique, I believe, added. And it has a slight strawberry berries casing. Now it's quite unique, I find, so far, because it has this wonderful natural strawish, citrusy, hay-like figs and raisins taste that you get from Virginia, but it's also got this strawberry flavour. And the strawberry flavour doesn't take away from the natural Virginia tobacco taste. Very unique, very well behaved. I love it. It's really, for me, one of the few tobaccos I can say it's like smoking a great Virginia and a great aromatic all at the same time without any of the disadvantages of an aromatic, which can tend to bite, which can tend to taste a little bit artificial and can taste a little bit soapy. And as like soap, but not like in a Lakeland floral perfumey soap. It's a different soapy flavour. Just on that, with aromatics, people often say they tend to taste soapy, and that kind of means they do have this kind of slightly chemically cheap soap flavour in the background, particularly if you smoke them too quickly. Now, the Lakeland floral thing that I talked about with my Mellow Virginia, it's much more aftershavish, much more perfumey, much more lavender. Not so much like soap, more like perfume. So it's a kind of different soapiness I'm talking about there. Just so you don't get confused. Okay. Now, I'm going to go on to show you, we talked about soapy and how the difference between Lakeland floral soap and horrible soapy aromatics. Now, here's a very good aromatic, and I talked about this on Tobacco Reviews. This is Momoyama. You can almost call it a Japanese. You can't buy it here, actually. You can only buy it from a couple of vendors in the States and on a Japanese website. So if your Japanese is good and you got a credit card, you may be able to buy this. It's made with plum wine. So it's very much like a plum cake or a aromatic. But again, it's wonderful. Momoyama 2. It's actually made by Mac Baren's in Denmark for the Japanese market. Why do they not sell it in Europe? I don't know. I love the stuff. It's just plum brandy, sweet, but it's still got this natural tobacco taste that you get coming from the Virginia Burleys in the background. I don't think it is any Burley, I think it's Virginia. It's lovely, I love it. It's absolutely a top aromatic. And there are so many bad aromatics out there. When you find one like Red Virginia, or Momoyama, you know, that's still aromatic-y, but still got these wonderful natural tastes. It's a great find, because there actually aren't many out there like that. Now, I'm going to go on to some other classics that are easily available, unlike Momoyama, which you may not be able to find, but if you come across it and you like your plum brandy, you'll love it. Now, I'm going to show you a few good old classics. Mac Baren. Now, Mac Baren's are famous for their tobaccos, and they're also famous for tending to bite a bit. They're Cavendish, they're sugar sweetened case tobacco that they add to their Burleys or Virginias, whatever is in the tobacco, tends to bite the tongue a lot, they say. And indeed that is so. Now, so if you're a seasoned pipe smoker, it's not so bad, because your tongue is a bit leathery and it's kind of a bit, it's a bit built up to it. So plum cake, really good stuff. It's again a navy blend, and it has a little bit of Latakia in it, so it's predominantly Virginias, maybe a bit of Burley in it, I don't know, but a little bit of Latakia in it, and it makes it really nice. I'm going to continue with Mac Baren. That's video 1. I'm going to do another video 2. So there we go, we're just getting into the Mac Barens. That's video 1. Video 2 is going to follow.